Law of karma is one of the most key and essential subject one must know. It might be a common means to some of them, but the secrets which I'm going to reveal is going to illuminate your life from now only if you start injecting this knowledge very seriously. So try grasping every piece of knowledge with open mindedness because it's going to empower your mind and you start getting refreshed. By end of this video, you'll start rethinking about your true self, which helps you to redesign and redirect your life more systematically and meaningfully. Well, I didn't had a vision to speak about this particular subject so early in stage since there is a universal demand and there is a need for the society, of course. So it's a great opportunity for me to accomplish this high-end subject. So let's begin by understanding law of management of karma by step process. So let's understand by end of this video what is our takeaway as well. By end of this video, we will be able to understand what is the main reason for our birth and what is the meaning of karma and what are the types of karma and how it works in everyone's life cycle, how management of karma works and how law of karma works in every individual and how karma will test us in any given situation and how karma will be get debited and credited in our account and how our actions, thoughts, intentions adds to our balance sheet of karma. And I'm going to explain with few illustration for better understanding and what is the key thing if you want to channelize a good karma. By end of this video, we will be able to understand how to swap karma to karma yoga and its values. We want someone to channelize and to balance our karma. So let's understand who can be our ladder to balance our karma and what step we need to initiate to reach that highness. We are going to learn much more abundance of knowledge about karma, but these are the major takeaways that we are going to take it from this law of management of karma. So don't skip this video till the end. Keep watching by taking your personal interest. We all are very well aware that if we do good, our reactions will be good, and if we do bad, our reactions will be naturally bad. This is what we have understood, and of course, it is correct. But there is something that we have to understand here is how law of karma management functions and how it regulates its laws. But there are many people who have understood this abundance of knowledge about law of karma, how this karma adds and subtracts in day-to-day life. If we start understanding this abundance of knowledge, then we will stand away from the crowd and the approach towards our life will be more respectful and meaningful. In this earth, many people believes different gods, different religions, different caste and different communities. But everyone believes only one thing, that is law of karma. In other words, science of karma. Some people believes with conscious mind and some people believes with subconscious mind. To make it much more prescribed for younger generation, it is like a Newton's third law. Every action there is an opposite and equal reaction. When we get mature, we usually have certain thoughts. Why we have to take this birth, and again why we have to leave this world, and again why we have to take a rebirth. I'm pretty much sure some of you already had this thought or some of you started thinking now. Just take a pause of this video and just think what might be the reason that we have taken a birth in this world. See, I'm not asking what is the purpose of your life. I'm just asking what is the main reason that we have taken a birth in this world. Anyways, it's a time that I have to reveal it. It's our karma that we have to take a birth in this world. Once our karma gets completed, then we have to leave this world and no one is exceptional. Let me explain it. During this pandemic time, many have lost their life. It is one of the most sorrowful moments. It is their karma that they have to end their life at this point of time. And based upon their deeds, again they have to take a rebirth. Eventually, same with us. It's our karma that we have to undergo many challenges even after losing our loved ones. See, basically what happens is, if someone takes a birth in this earth, everyone get affected by karma. Even a god takes a birth in this earth, even god get affected by karma, and no one is exceptional. So when a god itself get affected by karma, then who is the ultimate ruler? It's karma, right? So many of us do wonder, then why we have to take a birth again, why we have to die in between, why we have to struggle so much, then why we have to run behind our wants and desires, accomplishment, winnings, though we know this world is like a Mayaloka, magical world. See, basically, then if you start thinking, actually the main purpose of our life will be, the one is to do only a good karmas, and the second one is to do a balance of karmas, and the third one is to follow these two karmas. The basically what happens with us is, just due to lack of ignorance, we fall into the traps. Once we start understanding this abundance of knowledge, the definition and approach towards our life will be completely varies. The meaning and the respect towards our life will gradually increases. The main problem with us is we feel so pride about what we know in life. We don't seek for the knowledge which we are supposed to seek in life. Why is that? It's just because of lack of ignorance. To give you much better clarity, I'll take one simple book and I'll explain what exactly our ignorance is all about. Suppose, whatever is there in this world, I'm just dropping it in this book, okay? Whatever is there in this world, I'm just dropping it in this book. Suppose you will ask me whether how much do you know in this book. I'll say that I know some portion of this book, alright? So I'll say that I know, okay, this is like different shades. So I'll say that I know this part of the book, alright? So whether what you don't know in this book, if you ask me, obviously when I know this part of this book, right? So I'm aware of that I don't know this part of the book. Understand carefully. See, when I'm aware that I know this part of the book, I'm aware that I don't know this part of the book. So when I know this part of the book, when I know that I don't know this part of the book, then what exactly I don't know? What actually I'm not aware of, even I don't know, isn't it? So that is what our ignorance is all about. Well, so far I have given the glimpse of karma. Now let's understand law of karma of management much more in detail, because we have to embrace this law of karma within our life. Only once we have the clarity, when we have a better understanding, the implementation part will be much more easier. So just join me in my prayers, because to understand this law of karma, we need a devotion towards it. Then only it helps us to understand this concept very much in clear, and the implementation become much more easier. So just join me in my prayer if you are interested. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. So now let's understand what is the meaning of karma. Basically, karma has two different meanings. The first one is karma, which is called action, which means action taking. So whatever the action we take it, in result which forms three different forms of karmas. The other meaning of karma is kar, which means tax. Ma means I. So whatever the action we do it, we have to pay the tax to the universe in the form of three different forms of karmas. Basically, what has been said earlier, the karma is the main reason that we have taken a birth in this world. So now let's understand based on which karma we have taken a birth in this world. Basically, we call it as life cycle, which is actually derived from the cycle of karma. So there are three different types of karmas, which is called Sanchita, Prarabdha and Agama karma. So now let's understand what is Sanchita, Prarabdha and Agama karma. Sanchita karma, it's a karma which has been carried out by us from our past life. Whatever the action we have undertaken, it may be good or bad, it gets registered in Sanchita karma. Each and every aspect of our action which we have undertaken, we have to experience its end result. That is nothing but Sanchita karma. Basically, Sanchita karma only it decides what we have to experience in our next life, including place, birth, language, religious, caste, even including the profession, everything get deployed from Sanchita karma. So who is responsible for all our action? It's ourselves, right? Next comes Prarabdha Karma. It is a karma which is actually get taken from the Sanchita Karma. It's like a part of storage which has been registered in Sanchita Karma. We are taking a part of it and we are experiencing it in present life. Next comes Agama Karma. It is a karma which whatever the action we are undertaking at this present moment, the end result, whatever it is going to get, neither is a good or bad, that get registered in Agama Karma. Let me share with some example which gives you more better clarity on the same subject line. Suppose there is a sunflower seeds in a guni bag in the storage. If you want to do a cropping, harvesting in our backyard garden, we might require hardly 1 or 2 kilo of sunflower seeds, right? When we start doing harvesting, when it is start growing, we have no idea how the seeds, the production is going to be at the end. Whether all the seeds going to be thick, or some seeds may be flattened, or some seeds may be in a moderate in size. So the end result, whatever you are going to get, the quality of the seeds, that is nothing but Agama Karma. The seeds which is been taken from the guni bag, 1 or 2 kilos, that is nothing but Prarabdha Karma. The seeds which are still lying in the storage of in a guni bag, that is nothing but Sanchita Karma. Let me give you with one more example which gives you more better clarity then. Say for instance, your boss is allocated like 100 different jobs. If you want to start executing them, we can't execute all different jobs. Those 100 jobs going to be very heavy, right? So we'll be collected like 10 different jobs. We will start executing one by one. When we start executing one by one particular job responsibility might be probably like developing a drone software for helping for the agriculture purpose. So when we start developing a software, when we start doing a coding, we have no idea how the end result is going to be, whether that software is going to be helpful for the agriculture purpose, or it might be not helping for the agriculture purpose, or it might be helpful for something else, or it is helping for maybe for any other purpose. He might be not aware of. So that end result, whatever he is going to achieve, that is leads to Agama Karma. The jobs which has collected from the 100 different jobs, those 10 jobs are nothing but Prarabdha Karma. Still 90 jobs are in a pipeline, that is nothing but Sanchita Karma. Now it has been clear, no? So now you have got what is Sanchita, Prarabdha and Agama. So this is nothing but in general terms past, present and future. Sanchita, Prarabdha and Agama. Basically we humans does the problems only in Prarabdha Karma, no matter whether it is big or small, no matter with intention or without intention. But our Hindu Sanatana system, our Shastras, has allocated certain strict prohibitions that our human habitat should not give an attempt to do certain 4 acts. The first one is attempting to suicide and injuring the body and showing anger to others and being hunger. See, hunger here means especially during the feast time like Shivaratri or like Ekadashi time, most of the devotees follow the fasting. Certain devotees, they don't feel hunger because they are being habituated to it, or because they are dwelled completely into the devotion. But some people, like, it doesn't mean that they are not having a devotion, but certainly like their body might not be helping to follow the fasting. The one suggestion is, please kindly take fruits or certain kind of sadhvik food or certain dry fruits to substitute your hunger, because when you lead towards your stomach to a hunger, it leads to negativity, it leads to it restores the negative energy within your body. Again, it leads to negative karma into your account. So try having some kind of sadhvik food only after offering to God. So your fasting will be continued even during any of the fasting period. So this is a part of hunger which has been said in our Hindu Shastras. When we take this concept into much brighter sense, hunger towards the selfish desires, which definitely leads to anger, Anger leads to frustration. Frustration leads to harming self or harming others. Or in the extreme cases, people may give up their beautiful lives or people may take off others' life. But when it comes to hunger towards upliftment of the society or bringing a value to the society or adding certain developments towards the society. Say for example, Dr. Ambedkar. He had experienced lot of malpractices, lot of inequality amongst the people during his young age. Due to he took his knowledge pathway, he had a strong desire, he had a strong social desires that he wants to uplift the underprivileged people. He wants to bring equality amongst the people. Today Article 14 and 15 has become an entry pass for everything. So in such a way that he has taken a knowledge pathway, so he has redirected his life completely towards love and affection towards the society. The problem with selfish attitudes, it is not even their problem, it is just because of lack of ignorance. In one of the Bhagavad Gita verse, Krishna talks about how important our human life is. The one of the verse in Bhagavad Gita which goes like this: Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tata pralinasthamasi moda yonishu jayate. The meaning of this verse which goes like this: if the person dies with passion, if he has a strong desire, he wants to bring the value to the society, if he dies with that passion, he takes a rebirth again to do a fruitful activities. If the same person having a lack of ignorance, again that person may takes a rebirth in the animal kingdom, which means the person having a human life, he gets depromoted towards animal life. Definitely no one likes depromotions, right? The problem within our life is it is very difficult to find a right mentor for certain people. Definitely yes. If you can't able to find a right mentor in life, but one suggestion is choose the right books. And the second one is Bhagavad Gita as a right mentor. It is going to be the right mentor if you can choose it, because not everyone can able to find the right mentor. So that is understandable, but Bhagavad Gita can be the uniformity or knowledge for everyone. That is an entry pathway for the knowledge. When it comes to every individual, every person comes across problematic situation. Rather solving with the right intellect, which is the ultimate key for every solution. But some people try escaping with the negative thoughts, with the negative zones, or getting influenced with the negative people, which again adds up to the negative karma into their account. In result, people end up facing adverse situation by adding that negative karma with their existing balance sheet of their account. See, which has been said earlier that even a god takes a birth in the earth, even God get abide by karma, which means that karma never works opposite to us. Whatever the deeds that we do, it returns back same to us. Whatever the action we undertake, it brings us back at the same situation. This is only called as law of management of karma. For karma, no one is exceptional. No matter the person is rich, poor, or a queen or a king, or just born baby or an old man. Even during the pandemic situation, many people comes across financially, psychologically, lot of with health issues. Don't you think this is a kind of karma that we have earned it? Which is nothing but a prarabdha karma, right? Many people has got lot of abundance of time sitting at home to do a lot of productivity work. But whether the time was being utilized in a productive form or a non-productive form, even that get added to the existing balance sheet of their karma. When a person sit idle, basically a lot of thoughts comes into their mind. That thoughts, no one can stop it, provided there is a big sadhana. Even if we sit idly, even that adds to our karma. When we sit idle, many thoughts passes through our mind. The kind of thoughts, whether it's a positive or a not positive thoughts, even those things adds up to our existing balance sheet of our account. If you come across all my previous videos, is the only agenda was how to shift towards a positive thinking, how to have a better thought process. God calculation is so beautiful that no one can cheat anyone. Even if someone cheats, even they can't escape from that cheating. If one person cheats in a particular situation, that person has to experience, he has to face equivalent and the same proportionate manner. So God creation is so beautiful, isn't it? So we all need to bow our head to law of karma of management. See, it's been quite a long time I've been talking about balance sheet of karma. I am not sure like everyone would have been understood this balance sheet of karma. Let me give you certain case laws with form of illustration. It's just a sample case laws which gives you much more better clarity about the same subject line. So let's go through certain illustrations for better clarity now. Well, we have very well understood about Sanchita, Prarabdha and Agama Karma, right? So now let's understand how our actions, thinking and thought process going to be get debited and credited in our daily lives in the form of illustration case laws. Now I have taken Mr. X as an example. Mr. X has taken a birth in his present life of good karma of 5,000 and bad karma is 9,000, which is actually he has been taken from his past life. Past life, whatever he has earned is 50,000 was good deeds and 90,000 was bad deeds. So a portion of the share which he has taken from his past life to experience in his present life. So whatever he is going to experience, whether he is going to experience a good situations and bad situations, accordingly a good karma and bad karma. So here we have no idea whether he is going to take up all good actions or he is going to take up a bad actions. So based upon his actions result that get transferred to Agama Karma. So here still there is a balance. Around like good karma is 45,000 and bad karma is 81,000. So what will happen for this balance? That actually gets stored in our subconscious mind. So whatever is been stored in our subconscious mind, we are yet to experience that in our coming lives. So now let's understand about X life. Mr. X has taken a birth in his present life as a police officer. Since he has earned certain good deeds, probably he has had that vasana, the smell that he wants to become a police officer and he wants to serve the society. So that is what the vasana or the smell which has been transferred from based upon his previous karma. So he might be taken a birth as a police officer in his present life. Since he has earned 9,000 as a bad credit in his account, so he has to experience certain negative challenges, tough situations in his personal or professional life. So here one of the situation he is going to experience, Mr. Y is a businessman. He is going to approach Mr. X to police officer to give a complaint against Mr. Z under the section 441, 71 and 44. Now Mr. Z will approach Mr. X giving an offer that 1 lakh not to take a complaint and not to file a charge sheet against Mr. Z. So here it is like a kind of challenge for him, whether to, it is like a testing period. It's more than a challenge, it's like a testing period by the nature which has been given to him, whether he is going to accept this offer or he is going to reject this offer. So what has been stored for him in future, we have no idea in case if he is accepting his offer, or what has been stored for him in case if he is rejecting that offer. So now let's understand what is going to happen in next slide. Suppose let's understand how Mr. X is going to face this testing period in this particular situation. Suppose if he has rejected that 1 lakh rupees, which he has taken a right decision, as per his profession he is continued doing it what he is supposed to do it. So what happens here, these points will be get credited in his good deed and get debited from his negative deeds, which means that his good deed has increased to 6,000, got debited from his bad deeds, which is reduced to 8,000. Suppose if he has accepted that amount 1 lakh, which means that he has taken a wrong decision, which he is appreciating a conspiracy in the society which is against to his job and against its law, right? So which means that he has accepted that 1 lakh in his negative credit, his account, that get credited to his bad balance, which has increased to 9,000 to 10,000. And whatever he has earned, the good credit of 5,000 get debited from his good credit, which means it will reduce to 5,000 to 4,000. See, for every cause there is an effect, right? Suppose Mr. X has rejected this offer, which means that he has taken a right decision which he has created a good environment in his job profession, right? Since he has created a good environment, he has to experience another good situation as well. See, karma law of karma management could create any good situation for him, maybe in personal life or professional life. Like for example, maybe certain rewards or certain awards for him, certain any financial growth or personal growth, anything could happen. We have no idea what law of karma management has been installed for him for this good cause which he has made. Eventually, it's the same thing happens in case suppose Mr. X has accepted this offer, which means it's a wrong decision which he has made, which he has created a conspiracy within his profession, even from his mind, right? So in that cause, for that cause, he has to experience the bad effect of it. So eventually the same here, it might be certain depromotions might happen, right? It might be some personal problems might create. We have no idea what law of management of karma has been installed for him for that particular cause. This is how karma will take a decision on each and every action we undertake it. So the main question arises here is, then why people keeps on taking birth again and again? Very simple. Since whatever the cause, what he has made it, there is an effect, right? Maybe a good effect or bad effect. He has to experience that. So for that, in case if his lifespan is not supportable, which means that again he has to come with a new life, right? The karma itself decide whether he has to take another new life as a human or a animal kingdom or a plantation kingdom. That his karma only decides again what kind of life he has to take a birth. So to experience, to pay the tax to the universe, to experience that effect of it, again he has to take a birth to new life. That is the reason why people keeps on taking birth again and again, again and again, again and again. See, this is like a fundamental of management which I have given to you. I'll give you a little one step ahead further how karma will take deviations of creating a different situations in different circumstances in the next case law. Well, so far we have understood the fundamentals of law of management of karma, how our deeds get debited and credited in our daily lives, so which is nothing but a balance sheet of karma. So now let's understand, for every cause there will be an effect. For that particular effect, we have to experience certain situations, might be good or bad. So how the person will experience in a different timeline or in a different time zone or in a different form. So let's understand that in this particular case law. Let's consider J is a judge. So she has earned like 40,000 as a good deeds and she has earned like 20,000 as a bad deeds in her present life, which is almost she has earned so much of good deeds and certainly she has to experience certain bad situations also. So in this particular case, obviously being a judge, definitely she has to handle both the parties to provide the right justice, right? So there is a kind of circumstances which arise to her in such a way that after chief and the cross examination, accused approaches her saying that I am going to provide like 10 lakhs as a deposit if you can pass an order in the favor of him. So this is a kind of circumstance which has arise to her. Let's see how she is going to handle this situation. Definitely it is not a right situation, right? It is a kind of negative situation which has been arise because of those 20 deeds which she has earned it. So it is like a testing situation for her, how she is going to pass through this situation. Nature will be testing her. Let's see how she is going to handle this situation. Suppose she has rejected this offer, which means that she has taken a right decision. So her credit has increased with 5,000 in her good deeds and get debited from her bad deeds around 5,000, which comes around 15,000. See, basically why people get attracted towards a positivity is because, see, basically what happened in this particular case is she got influenced with 40,000 good deeds subconsciously, rather getting influenced with those 20 deeds. So subconsciously she is getting attracted towards her 40,000 deeds, which is oxygenated brain. Those 20,000 deeds which is carbonated. So the second reason might be is because the way she has matured. The maturity of her life, it depends upon the way she takes up the decision. And the third thing is the kind of circumstances, the way she has trained her mind. It's all depends upon that. See, this is certain kind of circumstances why she might have taken a right decision. See, basically, she has taken a right decision, which means that she has to experience the great opportunities or good opportunities in her life because her bad deeds has been reduced from the existing balance when she took a birth. So obviously, the nature will provide her great opportunities to experience in a future days. Well, this is one kind of circumstances which has to be experienced by J. Suppose she has accepted this offer, which means that badly got credited in her account. So automatically that 20,000 dates has increased to 25,000 dates by taking one single wrong decision. See, there might be certain couple of reasons she would have taken wrong decision, but I could able to pull out few reasons. The first thing might be because she started getting influence of those 20,000 bad deeds rather getting influence of those 40,000 good deeds. And the second thing might be because she started getting entangled with that negative environment, negative zone. That might be one of the reasons she would have taken a wrong decision. The third decision might be her intellect wasn't being trained how to handle such kind of situations. There might be some more couple of reasons, but this I could able to figure it out why she would have started getting influence of such kind of negative decisions. See, basically nature will provide certain checkpoints how that money has to be get debited from her account. The reason why, because see, as per the nature's law, her bank balance should supposed to be around like 5 lakhs. Just consider. But which has increased to 15 lakhs. What is the lump sum amount? Like 10 lakhs. So nature will provide certain checkpoints how that money has to be get debited from her account. One thing might be because she might be investing that money for any financing or any kind of property. So she might be get cheated in any of those circumstances. The other circumstances may be, suppose she has to get promoted as a senior judge in the High Court. Now, once she get promoted as a senior judge, nature will provide a checkpoint that if she get promoted as a senior judge in the High Court, her take-home salary should be 1.5 lakh. So nature will create a certain circumstances that she has to get convinced for lesser salary, suppose like 1,25,000 for the same quantity of work which she has to get delivered. Now, while she started working, she might feel like strain, she might feel like so much physical pain or the psychological problem because of delivering so much of work by receiving lesser salary. But she is not unable to understand that amount, whatever the 25,000 which has been got it deducted from her existing salary, which has been taken by the nature. This is one of the circumstances. The other circumstances may be that promotion may get delayed for 1 or 2 years later by deducting that 50,000 lump sum amount from her account without her knowledge. So in a way she might be started feeling that why things are not happening on time, why the development of my promotion is becoming very slow. So she may enter into certain psychological disorders. So basically here is we have to understand the nature is helping us in a way that we have to get deducted that bad karma which has been happened because of cause of action which has been undertaken earlier. See, there was a conspiracy in her mind, there was a conspiracy in her action, her thinking and thought process went wrong, her act also went wrong, so she has done 2 mistakes. So here because of this effect she has to face psychological problem and also physical problem. So basically people are so immature to understand, or because we are so ignorant of understanding what is happening within our life. But only karma knows, our karma knows what is happening in our life. But one solution for you is, for anyone, not only for you or for me or anybody, one thing we have to understand is whatever is happening for in our life is for good. The other thing we have to understand here is whatever the cause of action which has been undertaken before, the effect everyone has to face it. Now, until unless that effect of karma get deducted in our bad balance, the good opportunities what has been in a pipeline, we can't enjoy that. So until unless this bad debit, once this bad debit gets deducted in our account, we feel more enthusiastic, more powerful than whatever we are before. So in a way we should feel happy that, see, pain is like a gift. I don't know many of you agree or not, pain is like a gift. Once you start enjoying that pain, then you will start really enjoying the powerful success in your life. Otherwise, if person doesn't know the pain, that person doesn't know the value of success. But if you start implementing it, then you have your clarity of thought, your attitude towards your work completely changes. In a way, for every cause of action, the person will start facing the effect of it, which means that the person will comes out with the best version of themselves than whatever they are before. Suppose if she has taken a good decision in her previous time, she would have definitely increased her credibility and she would have started enjoying the good benefits out of it. But she started overcoming all the challenges. Now she created a best version of herself. Whatever the bigger challenges come through in her life, she knows how to handle it much better than what she was handling it before. Which means that the positive thinking is much more important to create a best definition for life. But one thing we have to understand here is, please underline, whatever the nature is providing us any punishment, which means that it is trying to help us to avoid any sort of mistakes that shouldn't be rendered by us. Which means that nature is trying to help us by showering certain sympathy in the form of giving certain punishment. The punishment could be anything in the form of physically, psychologically, financially, or through help, or with personal or any professional problems. It could be any challenges that comes through in our life, which means that nature is providing certain sympathy to balance our karma by experiencing the effect of cause of action which has been rendered earlier. For that, we have to have a good clarity of thought. The clarity of thought is very much important because our thinking and thought process, it creates another karma. If our clarity of thought is good, which means that if our thinking and thought process is good, it creates a positive karma. If our thinking and thought process is again negative, it creates again a negative karma. So I'll give you a much better example here, which creates a basement for everyone's life. Because this is very much important, please give more attention for this particular situation and this particular case law here. Well, we already discussed about Y and Z case earlier. Suppose J has passed an order in the favor of Mr. Y. Since Y has won over the case against Mr. Z, Z might be having a revenge or a hate or a kind of jealousy feeling towards Mr. Y. Since this kind of negative thought has been created to Mr. Z, that automatically registers in his negative karma list. So which makes him to take another new birth to take a revenge against Mr. Y. Even if you check the history, nowhere in the history a negative person can win over the positive person. The same thing here, Mr. Z cannot win over Mr. Y because Z is completely filled with the negative thoughts. So please underline, when we do any actions in the conscious mind, in result that get registers in subconscious mind. So this is only called as dharma. Only positivity can able to win at the end, but not negativity. See, what happens here is, the negative person will be very strong at the start, but at the end he becomes very weak. But the positive person, he will be very weak at the start, but at the end he becomes very strong. This is only call it as dharma. So only dharma, the positivity and the good things can only able to win over at the end. So positive attitude is only a key to make our life more definable and more meaningful. See, I'll give one of the best example which creates a basement for everyone, which is there in Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, Amba has a hate and revenge feeling towards Bhishma. Well, whatever might be the reason, she has taken a boon with Lord Shiva to take a rebirth as Shikandi to just kill Bhishma. Well, try observing her life. Throughout her life, she never experienced peace and happiness. Even she has taken a birth in palace. So what was the definition of her life? Neither she was not been a man or a woman. And finally, she seeks an apology with Bhishma for his unique characteristics. Here that we have to understand here is, the person who hate others, the person who hate themselves, they have no idea to love themselves, to love others. Try observing her past life. She has not done any major mistake just because of one single negative thinking, negative approach, which has created so much of distraction. Then just try imagine one positive thinking, one positive approach, how much creativity creations can happen within our mind. For which we should have to delete the opposite, start reprogramming our system with abundance of positivity. Then what happens next? Once we start channelizing a good karma, the karma itself helps us to channelize our good deeds. See, good deed doesn't mean that just giving and taking, which accomplishes with a good deed. Suppose if someone is trying to harm us, or someone is trying to annoying us, or irritating us, or trying to be rude with us, see, that person is doing it just because of lack of ignorance, because of the consequences. See, once we have an inner dialogue saying that, suppose like, okay, that person is having a lack of ignorance, so I'll bless him, or God bless him with simple sense of humor, with good abundance of knowledge, so that that person should not render the same mistake somewhere else. See, forget about others, whether that person is changing or not, but whatever that the positive inner dialogue which has been created within our mind, that creates so much of creativity and good deed within our account by nullifying the bad deed from our account. For which we have to start understanding, realizing, and having a strong manifesting towards to do a good karma. That good karma will start helping us to find and perform a greater deeds with consciously and subconsciously. Just like what goes around, that comes around. When we give something, that comes back to us. I'll give one small example. Princess Katrina Amelia. She is elder daughter of Kings William Alexander. She is the heir of the Dutch throne. She gets a right to claim like $1.9 million, which comes around 14 crores of INR. She writes a letter to Mr. Mark, to the Prime Minister, saying that accepting this money, which makes her very uncomfortable unless until she has not done anything in return. When other students are facing a tough time during this coronavirus. See, one thing that we need to understand here is a person, when she or he finds it uncomfortable when they are rendering any kind of action, that creates a negative karma. Even her thinking and thought process is a lot of sadhvik guna, which makes her to think towards a positive, which makes her to think towards the subconscious mind, rather getting attracted towards the little monetary values. See, when we start manifesting a better karma, the good things start getting attracted to us. The well-wisher people start appearing in our life, which rises a good energy that creates a good hara within our body that protects us from the negative aspects throughout our life. A good karma is nothing but just we are trying to be humans. Let me give the other most recent example, which has been trolled out in most of the social medias, who is Cristiano Ronaldo, who is a Portuguese football player. See, his brand provides many people to drink water by shifting from the Coca-Cola, which means many people are shifted to have organic water rather drinking a black water. See, his simple action which has created a greater credit within his account, which means once the person having subconsciously has manifested something, that comes out in action, which means that once our thinking and thought process are pure, our actions turns out to be pure, no matter who we are, no matter where we are. For which we should have a right mentor, right master, or we have to follow certain good people. In a way, our actions turns out to be greater and pure. For which we should have a right manifestation. Let me share one of the recent incidents just happened like few days before. When I went to one of the vegetable shop, I was trying to buy certain veggies. I asked that lady what is the cost of this beetroot. She said some price and I paid like 30 rupees in Google Pay. Then again I went to the other shop like to buy different vegetables. That gentleman asked me, ma'am, what is the cost of this beetroot? I don't know why that gentleman asked me, and I said like 30 rupees, and he was feeling little surprised. How come you paid like 30 rupees? Because the market value itself like 50-55 rupees and we are selling it at 60 rupees. And I started feeling little uncomfortable by listening this. And the other lady who was listening this conversation, even she was also feeling little surprised. How come that lady has sold it for such a cheaper price? Then I couldn't able to stay there for longer time. Somewhere something, I started feeling like something went wrong. Then again I went back to the same, the old vegetable shop. Then again I was trying to buy different vegetables. Along with that I asked her, ma'am, what is the cost of this beetroot? And she said like 60 rupees. Then I started realizing it. She said 60, but I heard it like 30. See, once we have that strong manifestation, this is what my life definition should supposed to be. Our karma start helping us to balance that whatever the mistake that has been rendered. So I started feeling little greatly thankful to that gentleman, and I was feeling so thankful to the universe, which started helping me to balance my karma then and there itself. So you can ask me whether what is like 30 rupees may not be a big money. See, it may not be big money for you, for me, for that same lady as well. But karma, it is not like that. Whether it's 30 rupees or 300 or 30 lakhs or 30 crores, it works as it is. It creates another timeline for me so that I have to pay her 30 rupees. Or in case where I would not paid it. Or karma creates another new life for me to balance that 30 rupees in a different timeline. For that, we should have a good mind map. Once we have a good mind map, the things works accordingly in a right way. For that, we should have a good guru. When we have a good guru or good mentor, our thinking and thought process start getting monitored. See, basically, our humans, one or the other way, we end up doing some other mistakes. This is our human tendency, or this is like our human karma itself. But for that, definitely the karma will start showing its effect for the cause of action whatever we have undertaken, right? But once we have that unconditional surrenderness towards a guru, the effect of karma becomes very weak, because we have heeded the words of guru. Even God can't help us directly. God also will help us only through the guru. That is the power of guru. See, once we start following the guru, we'll be able to understand abundance of knowledge. But one subject that we will be able to understand here is karma yoga. Once we start understanding what is karma and karma yoga, we can create a good definition and meaningful life within ourselves. See, it's been like 7 years for me that I could able to understand what is karma yoga. Basically, I was trying to read very much into the deep, so it took me some time to understand. But once I started understanding, once I taken a step, like a very minor step I took it. Now today I have taken a major step, but I am not a full-fledged karma yogi, but I have taken a major step to become a karma yogi. Today I could able to create a good definition of my life, which created I could see the best version of myself than ever since before. See, karma yoga is nothing but right action with the right attitude. Every action that we do it with the selfless attitude. We don't have any expectation. We don't get attached to it. As simple as that. But I have done one particular slide so that which gives a very simple clarity on this particular subject. See, karma and karma yoga, it has got series of verses in Bhagavad Gita, but I can't explain. It is not easy to explain in one go. So I have made it very simple and easy so that anybody can able to understand. So here is a slide, karmi versus karma yoga. Here I have taken two different characteristics. As a doctors, they both have got same profession, but their action towards their attitude is entirely different. So now let's understand how this particular X will be acting in his life as a karmi. See, this person will be having I, which is called ego. He always saying that I am the doer of this action. So this person will be having that feeling called I need a result for whatever the action that I render. And this person always having certain expectations and attachments and selfish and jealousy. Why all this comes? Because of the anger, desires. And this person always chases behind happiness and pleasures. And this person always wants to prove that I'm like that, I'm like this. So he wants to prove himself that he is right in the society. And this person always needs an appreciation whatever the job he render. So without the appreciation, he won't feel like motivated. And he get easily abide by karma, whatever the papam and punyam, like a good deed or a bad deed, whatever he does it, that easily get abide by karma. And he become a slave for the situation, like easily get surrender, easily get compromise for the situations. And this person is like majorly a material minded. See, there are many more things, but no need to discuss much more, but we should feel more excited to know more about karma yoga. So now let's understand how Mr. Y is leading his life as a karma yogi. See, this gentleman will be having like arpana bhava, like samarpana bhava, like whatever the actions he does it. He offers everything to the God. He don't feel that I am doing it. It is being done by the God. And he always have that I am not a body, I am a soul, and he always looks for the knowledge. And this person doesn't look for expectation and the result. See, when there is a arpana bhava, there is no point that person looks for the expectation, looks for the result. And this person always does the prescribed duties. See, this person is like the way he does a duty that other person would have not done it. Like he do it such a unique way that he will do it like a Superman, like a very unique form. He will create the things. This person will create a foods to the society, and this person have no desires, like no attachments. He never get attached to anything. See, he get along with everyone. He get gel with every people, but he never get attached to anything, and never adds to karma. He never get so this person never get abide by karma, never by papam or punyam. See, when there is no called I, he never get abide by any karma, because he is offering everything to the God, and he thinks that only God is doing. So he am nothing. When he say that I am nothing, only God is doing everything. So he easily never get abide by karma. And here entirely different here is he always feel happy. The reason he feels happy all time, because happiness will be keep on chasing this person, and he becomes a leader for any situation. He take a charge of any situation. See, this person also end up using all the materials. He also earns money. He also makes the properties, but he never have that curving, that that urge to make it. He make it for the purpose of to do his duties. He never run behind that.
The best part of the Karmi and the Karma Yogi is, if any problem occurs to Karmi, he feels so stressed and he says like what? And the same problem, if that occurs to Karmi Yogi, is he feels like so what? His mind will be with a so calm and composure. The way he responds towards any kind of problem, he brings out the solution for it.
In Bhagavad Gita, there is a multiple series of verses talks about karma and karma yoga. Well, this is one of the particular verse which talks about karma. This is one of the basic step to take a step towards karma yoga lifestyle. So let's discuss about this particular verse in detail. Well, as soon as we take a birth in this world, we start performing our actions, because that has become an integral part of our human nature. We've been told from our childhood is that you do your duty, rest leave it to the God. This has been taken from this particular verse. Let me read this for you. Karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phaleheturbo ma te sangastva akarmani. Such a beautiful verse. But when it comes to reality, everyone has expectation towards each other. Parents have certain expectation towards their children. Teachers have certain expectation towards their students. Citizens have certain expectation towards a government. Employer has certain expectation towards an employee. Everywhere there is an expectations towards our actions, which they look for the results. Our psychology has been trapped in such a way that we also start performing our actions by expecting certain results. We take a pride towards our actions and we take a pride towards our results. Why? Because we get trapped towards this negative environment. But one thing we have to remember is that God is the ultimate owner for everything. Once we start performing our actions like offering to the God, in result we get it like a prasad, because we don't need to expect anything. Whatever we get it in return, it is going to be like a prasad. Prasad which we have eaten, everyone is like it is as tasty than ever since we have eaten. So if we want to eat a prasad every day, then we can start offering our actions like an offerings to the God to eat prasad every day. That becomes a meaningful and respectful life than ever since we come across. So we all can turn our life as a karma yogis, which is an ultimate goal for everyone. Well, before I conclude something, so far we have understood about 3 different case laws and the law of management of karma. But one thing we have to understand in finally here is, see, here I've given whatever is going to get debited or credited the equal proportionate points. Whatever the person takes a right decision, here I have given like 5,000 as a good credit and get debited with bad deeds. But when it comes practically as per the law of management of karma, it won't be the same. The whole fundamentals of balance sheet of karma remains the same thing, but the points whichever have been added here, like 5,000 as a good deed and 5,000 as a bad deed, This completely varies. The reason only here I have taken the reason only I have taken the same proportionate points just to avoid any kind of confusions. But practically, sometime if that person has taken a right decision, she might be getting a 5,000 as a good credit in her account, but doesn't mean that she is going to debit it from her bad deeds the same points. Sometime it may be like 200 or 300 or 500 debited from her bad deed. See, we don't need to think about how much is going to get credited and debited in our account based upon our actions. Only thing we have to understand here is whatever the actions we render, whether it's a good deed or a bad deed, is going to be get debited or credited. So that much we have to understand for if you start helping yourself for the implementation process.
Well, karma, karma yoga, and balancing of karma is so powerful and ocean-wide subject. So it's not so easy to complete in one go, but there are certain things which we have to understand before proceeding to do any action, karma, in this world. Well, when we enter inside this body, we have taken this body only for a rent, who is given by Panchabhutas. That is nothing but air, space, earth, water, fire. Therefore, this body is also not ours. One fine day, again we have to leave this body and go, which means a rented body. Paying rent here means as soon as we reach this body, we have to do a karma. It is a rule. And the reason we have reached this body just because we have got a past deposit which has got stored earlier. Because of those past desires and based out of our past desires, everything got deposited in our entity, that is individual. So our job is mainly to clearing the deposits, not to refill the deposits based on our deeds if we want to reach this highness or supreme power. So as soon as we reach this body, we start performing an action. While we are performing an action, we know if you do good, in result the good things will happen. If you do bad, accordingly bad things will take place. The problem here is for every entity or individual will fail to understand what is good and what is bad while performing any action or duties. Well, understanding this differentiation between good and bad is at most priority for every individual or an entity. So, let me take X itself an example here as well. Suppose, if you take X as a doctor, if you ask him, are you performing your actions in a right way? Naturally he say yes. So, if that person is doing only good deed, so only good things should take place in his life, right? But he also experienced many tough times, including his family, in the same life. And also he takes up a rebirth to rebalance his action, whatever the actions which has been done earlier or to fulfill his desires. So the clarity that we got here is, a person does all his actions without understanding what is good and bad while he performing his deed. So if that Mr. X wants to do only good deed, then he or she must also understand what is bad as involved in that particular deed. Well, if that person don't understand what is bad and what is good involved in that particular action while he is performing his action, and that person, if not having any such sufficient knowledge, again that person will add that negative karma into his account. If that person would have understood the difference of bad and good involved in that his prarabdha karma, he would have avoided such bad deed which is involved in his action. So there should be some good entity or a right resources should be there to bring this awareness to our entity, right? So that good entity or a right resources or superpower who is nothing but Lord Guru. So only Guru can help us to make us understand what is good and bad as per the nature's law. Only Guru can help us, this entity, to reach that supreme power. Mostly, sometimes we may think Guru is not required because we have comfort zone, sufficient degrees, handful full of people, sufficient knowledge or handsome money all such similar thoughts, when it occurs in mind, it means that we are traveling our journey of life towards ignorance. But it is truly essential that we always want a right guru, right mentor, library to validate our deed in a good and effective manner when we are performing an action or a deed. For that, we should have to take a step towards Guru. We can't expect a Guru will come to us. So that when we take a step towards a Guru, which means that we are taking a journey of our life towards enlightenment or true world. Basically, we have reached this material world to clear or to spend out or to quash all our deposits which we have stored it earlier. But we keep on adding more deposits while we are performing our pre-deposited karmas. Same it explained in X case. The reason because the person failed to understand good and bad what is involved while he is performing an action. So, Guru only can help us to overtake any such kind of karmas to reach that spiritual or that supreme power. So, if we want to travel to that real world, we have to understand our present position where we have placed, which is called material world or Mayaloka or magical world. So, let me explain what is this material world, then we could able to understand the worthiness of that highness. So, since quite some time, we have understood about karma, cause, and effect. So, whatever it has been explained so far, this verse is like a concluding verse for us, which gives us much more clarity about ourselves and our present lifestyle. But Gita gives complete knowledge of truth, but this verse is just a concluding verse for this topic. Karya karana kartrutve hetu prakrutiruchyate Purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve heturuchyate. The meaning of verse goes like this. In the matter of creation, the material energy is responsible for cause and effect in the matter of experiencing happiness and distress. The individual soul is declared responsible. So let me elaborate this to understand what is spiritual world and what is material world is, and how this material world or energy is reason or responsible for the cause and effect for our karma, which we have discussed it earlier. So there are two different types of world, that is material and spiritual world. Material world, which is nothing but visible to eyes, a physical body. Spiritual world, which means no desire, no deed, no physical activity, and there is only higher I, the soul power, can merge with supreme power. It is not visible to eyes at all. So the body has three types, that is Sthul, Sukshma and Karana Sharir. So let's understand what is Sthula body is, which is also called as gross body, which is made up of Annamaya Kosha, nothing but which is made up of food. This body has Panchendriyas, nose, eyes, tongue, skin and ears. We can see it when we are in a wake up state. Panchabhutas, that is air, water, space, earth and fire. All these five means are perceived by sensory organs, which is nothing but via Panchendriyas. It is just a lower body. In other words, it is like a hardware. The important and the functional of Sthula body is to gain the knowledge of truth and to enjoy the complete happiness or a joy of supernatural power, and to gain the spiritual pleasure which is real lifestyle in this life, and to transcend our residence towards supernatural power even when we are in alive and after. But we keep on decorating this body as it is only important. When it comes to Sukshma Sharir, it is like a subtle body, a psychological or a functional body, which includes like manas, buddhi, memory, vision, mind, happiness, pleasure, ahankara, like we call it as kama, krodha, mada, mastarya. All this, there are 19 elements which comes under this Sukshma body. Even inference. Suppose if someone is eating a new food and he or she makes a kind of face, then you infer he doesn't like it. Or if someone slams a door, you can infer that she is upset about something. So, who is doing it? It's a kind of Sukshma body. So, the Sukshma body is not at all visible. Suppose, like, see, eyes is visible. The vision, what is there inside the eyes, that power, it is not visible, right? It's the same way, the Sukshma body is not at all visible. This is only, it is called as Gnanendriyas, Panchendriyas, Karmendriyas, in Sanskrit. And even the respiratory system, the blood circulation, and digestion, all this power which is inclusive of, which has been settled within the Sukshma body. So, but it is not visible to eyes. And then comes to Karana Sharir. It is nothing but a causal body, means a reason, a soul, or a seed, which is within the hardware or the software. It is like a power which has been taken from the, or which has been connected from the power station via wire. So the individual power transmitted from the superpower station. It is not visible to eyes. So this soul came from the supernatural power, which is nothing but a soul. So let's understand what is the age of these three bodies. The Stula body, the age of this gross body is 2 minutes to 120 years, which can stay in this earth. And the Sukshma body age is till the end of this earth, it will stay here itself. And the Karana body, this will stay even after the death or demolition of this earth. So we have to understand how powerful we are, but we forget how to manage the software and individual soul, but we give more or only priority to hardware. If we think I am only a body, then we become shipman. If we think I am a subtle body or a cause body, then we become a superman. If we give importance to designing or structuring a gross body, then subtle body won't work positively. Subtle body will start harming a gross body and Karana body. If we give only or main priority to shaping or designing and structuring the subtle body, then our gross and subtle and causal body will function it in a good organizing condition, which helps us to take a flight towards supreme power. Our utmost priority should be redesigning, restructuring our subtle body to get rid of any kind of karmas. So when we get connected with Jagat Guru, our Guru helps us to redesigning and restructuring our lifestyle. In one line, let me explain who is Guru and who is a teacher. Teacher can provide a sufficient information, what is existing in towards eyes and what they have been learned in their career, and they can motivate us up to certain level, like they provide Akshara Gnana. But whereas Guru can teach us about knowledge of truth, and Guru can help us to restructuring our gross, subtle and causal body, and Guru can make us aware of truth through the process of execution of our deed or our actions and make us real motivators. So it is nothing wrong even if we take Lord Krishna as Lord Guru rather than accepting only as a God. Even I take him as my Guru. So coming to this verse, among 84 lakh species, based on the deed done by us, the owner will leave us in any one of the species of life. In these varieties of creations of the material nature, it is not under our control, right? And they arise from the different sensual pleasures of living entity. Whoever have the desire is in desert body, he is put into different bodies, or she or he enjoys a different happiness and distress that. Suppose, let me explain it like this. Mr. X is an entity put into the body of dog. He must act like a dog only. He can't act otherwise. Or Mr. X has taken an entity as a body of hog. Then he is forced to eat stools or mala. Suppose Mr. X get attracted to gold and he has stolen a gold from Y house. So supreme power will take a decision whether he has to take a birth as a dog or a hog. If he take a birth as a dog, then he becomes a watchdog to one particular house so that he protect no such robbers should enter to that particular house, or not to steal any kind of money or material which is equivalent to stool or a mala, as it been said in the Upanishads. Suppose the same Mr. X has taken a birth as a hog. So he has to eat the stools because he has a desire to get attracted towards others' money or others' properties or others' gold or any other materials. If he is having a desire or he is having that cravingness towards other things, who is not eligible to take any such items, or he don't deserve to take such things, then he has to take a birth as a hog. He is forced to eat stools. This is a nature's law. Well, with all this circumstance, super soul is with individual soul. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. See, Supreme Lord is so kind towards this living entity. He always accompanies individual living entity. In all circumstances, he present as a super soul or Paramatma within us. So we have to respect this physical body, but we should not get attached or don't accept it as a prime factor. So we can be successful by redesigning and restructuring the subtle body and Sukshma body, as it been said in Gita, or by our Guru. And gradually our soul turns to be pure and helps to accomplish all the deeds and to reach that supreme power. Which has been said in this particular verse, nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas living entity causes for the various sufferings and enjoyment in this world. To make it more clear, subtle body will make use of this gross body to accomplish deeds. So we have to take a good care of this subtle body without getting attracted to negatives, and by deleting or quashing the deposits or pre-deposits by using our right intellect. So if you're watching this video, which means that you are having the right capacity and the power to overtake your karmas, and your karma is also supporting to accomplish all the deeds and to take a flight to Devaloka. Basically, not everyone make an effort to watch this full video. They might watch like 5, 10, 15 minutes and they may leave in between and go. This channel will help you to overtake restructuring and redesigning a subtle body and causal body to quash any such negative karmas and get aware about truth and internal happiness. It is just like traveling from ignorance world to awareness. That is Sadhvik lifestyle and spiritual world.
My dear sisters and brothers, you might be aware about the karma, but the things which has been revealed here, it is not easily available in a books or in a Google, because it is directly transferred from Guru Parampara. So try making use of this abundance of knowledge which is going to help to your lifestyle. And don't consider this has been given by me. I'm just a medium to make this presentation as simple as it can by giving certain latest example to make this subject more clear and understandable. Basically, our Lord Guru is trying to help us to quash our any bad karmas, to experience whatever the good things which has been stored in our life, and also to create a healthy environment. Since it has been transferred from Lord Guru, our mind and the body is completely soaked with so much of positive energy and with so much of positive vibes. So try closing your eyes sometime, feel it, so it's going to create a good hara within your mind and the body, without watching any recommended videos after watching this video, including mine as well. Basically, our academy never teaches all these things, which is highly essential and primarily important for every citizens of our human life. So try teaching to your kids, friends, family members, any of your well-wishers, any concerned person. It helps to channelize to create a good definable life to present and the future generation as well. More you discuss about the law of management of karma, it helps for your better understanding as well as for the implementation process. This video, if you try helping others by sharing this video, it avoids a lot of conspiracy within the mind and through the action. And also it helps to avoid any kind of negative karma by following the good deeds. And also it helps many people to have a karma yogi lifestyle by avoiding any kind of negative traps. And it also helps to increase the concentration towards a lifestyle by having a smooth and steady development to win our purpose of life. And other foremost thing is it helps many people to get rid of karma by avoiding number of multiple births. My dear friends and sisters and brothers, my kind apologies because I've used a word called negative word here number of times, because the law of karma and its subject demands speaking about it. I'm pretty much sure you guys are very much broad-minded enough, you never get influence of this word. Definitely you will get influence of a complete whole subject. And my kind apologies as well if I have mispronounced any words or any statement in this video. And if you know much more than this, feel free to share this with me, because I'm very much excited to learn from you as well. And if you have anything to discuss with me, feel free to discuss by contacting me or dropping your comments in the comment section. Or if you want to share anything with me, feel free to share it by dropping in the comment section. And thanks for watching this video. I hope this video added a great milestone for your life and it added a great value for your time as well. And thanks for watching. Namaste.